Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the Week to Warrior podcast, episode number 3.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been over a year. So let's just pick up right where we were talking about, like business models and making it to $100 million a year, challenges. Like, I personally, we're just running up against issues with. I mean, not really issues with TikTok. TikTok's more just annoying, but like Amazon requires that your supplements be made in one of their facilities, basically. And we didn't do that. We made our supplements ourselves in basically a
Giant
commercial
clean
kitchen.
room.
A commercial kitchen that we set up ourselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, legally it is a commercial kitchen. So, we're kind of just like, we're just figuring out, we're like, okay, they want all this information. Amazon's kind of off the table for now.
Well, the issue is just the pre-orders that they want. So if we've come out with 16 supplements, and no fillers, anything, nothing in them, and what you run into is when you contact other manufacturers to have this stuff done, they all try to sell you their product. So it's called white labeling, and what they do is basically they manufacture supplements. They make a bunch of powder, they cap it, they put it in these bottles, and then they just have warehouses full of these bottles, and they want people to come along and be like, hey, I want to start a pre-workout company. And they're like, sure, here's a pre-workout. This is the flavors that you can have. And then you're like, okay, cool. Design me a website and a logo and everything, a label and everything else. And then the manufacturer will design that stuff for you, slap the label on it, and then handle the shipping of the object for you. So then you just take over the running of the marketing and the running of the website. And it's like a grab and go cookie cutter supplement store, which is why you see a lot of supplement companies, their ingredient lists are very similar. There's not really any innovation for what they're doing, and a lot of people are just blowing a lot of money on marketing because there's really no difference between them and anyone else.
Yeah, just selling someone else's product.
Yeah, well, trying to say that it's better than their competitors, but in order to, these companies won't make the supplements we want without the fillers, because the fillers allow them to make it cheaper by allowing them to lubricate the machines, and it just makes it a lot easier for them to make the supplements. And right now we're unable to place big enough orders in order to have them make the supplements the way we want them to be made. So in order to combat that, we went through all 700 pages of the FDA hand guide.
No. It's like over 1,000. It's well over 1,000. And I went through all of the regulations myself 3 times. First time, I went through and just read it. Second time, I went through and I took a bunch of notes on what I needed to do. And the third time, I went through and I read it and I verified that the notes were accurate.
Yeah, and then we went through, we bought all the materials, we set up the kitchen, we
registered the facility.
Yeah, made the stuff, got the labels in, they look amazing. We also designed the labels, made sure that those followed
FDA regulations.
Yeah, and now we're trying to sell it on Amazon, but then Amazon hits us with something. They're like, well, they want us to certify the supplements through these third-party people, and the third-party people, it's really stupid how it's set up, and it's basically these companies who will certify you, because there is no the FDA will not certify you. So these other companies pop up and they're like, well, we'll certify you. But what they do is they go to certain marketplaces and they strike deals with those marketplaces to acquire their certifications. So now that company is able to charge thousands of dollars in order to get certified by them, and the marketplace is basically, they partner up with them. They're like, oh, you need to go to our buddy and have him certify you if you want to sell here. And in order to do that, it's going to cost a couple $1,000s.
And we can't even do that now because the residential or the commercial kitchen that we made these in isn't even set up anymore. So we couldn't even have someone come over and certify it because we took everything down. Like the whole facility that we set up, we took it down because it was a batch manufacturer. So
batch manufacturer, we made 50 to 75 bottles of each in order to sell them and get proof of concept, so that we can then go and maybe get funding to, or do a Kickstarter in order to get this up and place the larger orders in order to get the supplements
also,
made
I mean,
the way we
like
want them to
we
be
got
made.
some options. So we can, once we sell the supplements, we could get potentially a loan from our father. That would be something that we could do. We could, I mean, depending on how much it is and like minimum order quantity and stuff, but I'm
can
pretty
also
confident in my
fund
ability to
that.
sweet talk these people into partnering with us.
Yeah, but we can also fund it as a. There's ways to set it up once we sell out, and we can also use the money we generate from selling in order to help fund that. But
That
there
is
will
true.
be some money that needs to be covered in the meantime, due to the large nature of the orders they want placed.
Yes.
And also, we're coming out with 16 supplements that we personally take.
Yes.
And we're selling those, seeing which ones sell well, so that then we can take the ones that sell well and then place the orders for those. Because,
I mean, I think we should just
I
try to
don't
do
think-
all of them. I don't really.
yeah, but eventually we'll do all of them. But for right now, we'll go
I
with.
even want to come out with a bone marrow and liver one and a vitamin D one. Like, I kind of want to keep, because I do take vitamin D as well, and I also take bone marrow. So I'm just,
There's so many other products.
there's
that
more
we want.
products we want to make.
And the difficulty is just dealing. The more products we make, well, we have to sell them through the website, because that allows us to make them in an FDA facility without having to pay these third-party companies thousands of dollars in order to certify us. Because Amazon wants to charge. We have 16 supplements. Amazon wants to charge between $1,200 and I think $2,500
So we'd be paying like
per supplement in order to get the
$45,000.
supplement. In order to get the supplement tested at a third-party facility, after we already got the powders tested by another company, and they won't accept that other company's certificate of analysis on the powders, or on the capsules, or on anything else that we did.
Or on the and the process of manufacturing too. I mean, it's really just kind of like monopolistic practices.
Oh, it's
but
extremely monopolistic. But, I mean, it works out because, I mean, it just benefits the larger companies who have the money to spend on it. And it's the same reason why, I mean, I once did this out just to see how the cost of scale compares. And I saw this box of diapers on Walgreens in the store, and I estimated the weight, took the dimensions, plugged it into Pirate Ship, which gives you small business pricing on it, and it came out to $19 in order to ship it. And I believe those same adult diapers were selling for $21 with $5 shipping on Walgreens.com, and literally it would cost me $19 to ship it, but somehow Walgreens is able to work on a large enough scale that UPS and FedEx cuts them literally huge deals in order to have them sell, so that they can do giant bulk things, and they're able to manufacture, ship over from China, and then redistribute, ship out, and still make a profit on these adult diapers that literally I would not be able to buy and then sell on Amazon, or buy and sell on eBay and make any money off of, due to the fact of the insane shipping fees I have to pay due to being a small business. And this is even more expensive. I get discounts of like 20 to 30% compared to if you go in person, because I buy the labels online through websites like Pirate Ship, which give you very large discounts. But if you don't have those discounts, you're just screwed. And it's like how websites like Chewy are literally able to ship you rocks, like cat litter in a box, for cheaper than you can go to Walmart and buy it.
Yeah, you can buy rocks to poop on
For your cats to
through
poop
the
on.
mail. They do.
And it's cheaper than going to Walmart. It's insane. And UPS will do these deals, and if I wanted to ship that box, it'd be like $50. But you
Yeah.
can buy a box of cat litter for like $19. It's so cheap. And that company is able to get such a low estimate on the shipping that they can actually turn a profit on shipping rocks to people's doors, which is insane. Because that company has to buy the product, warehouse the product, have people then package the product up, take it to the UPS warehouses, and then get shipped out. And granted, some of these stores also have multiple locations across the US so that they're shipping shorter distances, but it's just insane how much economies of scale allow the larger companies to just absolutely dominate a space, and it kind of forms a stranglehold where even if you have a good idea, you have to take it to one of these larger companies in order for them to do it, because otherwise you just won't be able to compete on price. So it forces you to sell your ideas and your patents to these larger companies, or else they'll just bury you.
But I mean, this is all perfectly natural, though, and I wouldn't assume that anything would be any other way, because I mean, why would you go through all this effort of becoming a powerful multinational corporation that does $1 billion or more a year in sales, only to let some upstarts like him and I come in, or he and I come in? No, I guess him and I, it would be.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it'd be him and I. Some upstarts come in and put you out of business, or take even a percentage of your business. Why would you do that? I think it's perfectly natural that people create these protectionist clauses. The only thing that really saves me from being the exact same as them is just reading Henry Ford and understanding that you need to create a wealthy society. You need to contribute to the wealth of everyone in society in order to become truly wealthy.
Well, in order to become wealthy, you need to provide a better service than other people. And I mean, talk about
it's
service.
really, it's about service, but it's also about like increasing the buying power of the average person.
Yeah.
Because that was Henry Ford's idea, was pay people more and then they'll be able to buy more of your products. And just experimentally, it actually worked very well. Henry Ford was, I don't know where he ranked in terms of the richest industrialists, but he was certainly...
I think he was the richest at the time.
But wasn't Rockefeller his contemporary? Or did Rockefeller... I mean, Rockefeller is like the richest person of all time. Except for maybe like Cleopatra or something. Like, I think like maybe Rockefeller's still richer then. I think like Rockefeller...
No, there's this African prince dude who was worth like 1.2 trillion.
I don't know. I remember like my friend Kalen from high school telling me that like he did the math on it, and like Rockefeller was like the richest person of all time when you adjust for inflation and like adjusting for
I don't
everything.
think so. I really don't think so.
I think he might have been. We have to look at it, but I mean the fact that we're even debating
there are some
it,
like Asian kings, and also
I think he might have been richer. Like I think Rockefeller might be the richest person of all
I
time.
don't know, we can look into it. But anyways,
But Ford was up there, though. He was up there with Rockefeller and Carnegie and these people, and he achieved his money with a lot less stress and a lot more ethically than
a lot of other people.
a lot of these other people. And
Turns out if you treat people well, they'll treat you well back. So
yeah, and if they don't, then just find other people who will. So
yeah,
I think that's an interesting thing I've thought about, is that like one of the basis of ethics is the fact that everyone's watching everyone else's behavior all the time. So if you just like, if you're cruel, people will see that you're cruel and they will want you to have less power than someone else of equivalent or comparative competence who isn't cruel. simply because people don't want to be treated cruelly. And I think that's like a very common theme throughout Grimm's fairy tales. So, I mean, I really like, one thing I'm thinking is, and we're probably going to do a mixture of both throughout the podcast because we're inexperienced podcasters, but I want to talk more to you than to the camera.
Well, I was just giving an update.
No, I agree. I just...
Okay, so to wrap this all up, right now we're just selling through the website, and eventually we will be selling through, well, I think we can get through TikTok, but we'll eventually be selling through Amazon once we get this whole thing figured out.
Or the personal care products. We can also create a line of personal care products to put up on Amazon, because I view Amazon as lead generation as well. So really it's like Amazon, TikTok, eBay. I think eBay, we could see success on eBay because eBay doesn't want shit. And like they still look really attractive. So people like go look up magnesium on eBay. Like our stuff will come up.
I mean, part of the, and just, I don't know, one thing I find really annoying is that like a lot of these, the larger companies, when they have these strangleholds that they create in the market, they don't feel any need in order to change or adapt, or like take out the poisons and the fillers that give you leaky gut from the supplements.
The low toxicity soap.
Yeah, literally we looked into having people eat magnesium, was it
stearate?
Sure, yeah. And it turned out we can't.
It's illegal to pay people to eat magnesium stearate, but you can pay to eat it.
Yeah, you can buy supplements with it, but we wanted to make a point about how bad it is for you. So we're thinking about doing a publicity thing of just having an eating contest for magnesium stearate and then monitoring people's health afterwards.
That's illegal because it's
we never took it too
toxic.
far, but
yeah, no, it is funny though. You can pay to eat it, but you can't get paid to eat it.
yeah.
So I think that's definitely interesting. So really though,
Just think we're fun. Well, not fun, but interesting to like have people eat it and then strap health monitors to them and just show people like, yeah, this shit's really bad for you.
That would be funny. I think that would be pretty funny. Yeah. I thought your comment earlier about like the personal trainer dude versus the Navy SEAL was interesting. But I mean, basically though, so we're just going to try to get everything up on or not try. We're going to create and submit all of the documentation. I don't like the word try because Yoda's really right. Do or do not. There is no try. Like there's just actions, and you either take the action or you don't take the action. And there's an expected result of the action, but you can't say I'm trying for this result, because really what you're doing is you're just doing an action with an expected result, which is different than trying for a result. Because I could sit here and be like, I'm trying to make $1 million. But really what I'm doing is I'm sitting on a dock going, well, and then I'm expecting to get $1 million from that. It's a little silly.
Making it external versus something that you can control. Like, you can't control the outcome of some stuff, but you can do the actions that you believe will lead to you having the best success. Like, we can easily submit the documentation to TikTok and everything.
Yeah.
But we can't necessarily guarantee that they will put us through without having gone through those certification places. And these companies literally just, that's the whole business, is just going around convincing everyone that they're a legit authority, and in order to sell, you need to go through them. It's like the people who certify food as organic. Why is it always the same people?
Oh, it's the USDA, I think, that certifies food as organic.
I thought it was another organization that did too.
I think it's the USADA, United States.
Yeah, well, if it's a U.S. organization, that's different. But
yeah, I think USDA is the only company that certifies you as
No,
organic.
I know there's other certifications for food. Like, I think kosher has a different board. But if you look at kosher, I think a lot of them are like, it's the same companies that do all the certification for it. And they basically monopolize the certification of these things. And it's like, how difficult is it to certify something as kosher? Like, you could just go in and look at the person. Like, if you left that company who certified businesses as kosher to go start your own business certifying businesses as kosher, like, you could do that. But no one does, because we all, like, they trademarked the little kosher logo. So then when someone else comes along and tries to certify business as kosher, they're like, this isn't the same kosher logo. Like, what is this? And I don't know. I never see, like, you always see the same companies used for certifying stuff.
So I think the problem is well laid out. Also, our father has cancer and heart issues, and we're trying to like keep him healthy and keep our whole family healthy as well.
Yeah, that's going well so far, though.
No, that is going well. But one thing I was concerned about, and this is just straight up me talking to you, not even the camera, which I think is good to get, because I want to transition from talking to the camera to us actually reasoning out in a formal, casual, I don't know, just putting it out there, like getting like discussing the business plan for the next 12 months, because we actually haven't, we've discussed it a lot, but we haven't like concluded anything. So, but the one thing I am worried about though is he's currently doing the same work schedule he was doing when he was working for Instrumentation Laboratories, but he's also had cancer. So it's the same work schedule that produced a heart attack, same commute, but he's had cancer, so that puts him at a higher risk for a heart attack. So that's I texted him
get
last
him
night.
One of these wristbands in order to help, hopefully, for him to start tracking his own fitness and being like, oh damn, it's not just my son's telling me that my health is bad.
It's not just the cancer diagnosis and the heart attack.
Yeah. This little app on my phone shows red. It shouldn't be showing red.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that does also help with, I don't know, it's hard to get people who have sacrificed their health for money in order to
I don't think he knew he was sacrificing his health for money at the time, though. Like, I don't think that was a conscious decision. I think that was simply convention.
You take someone out of, you take someone who has nothing and who is just trying to survive, and you give them a way of doing it, and they're going to continue doing it even when it starts hurting themselves, because it's hard to necessarily be.
But he hasn't rationalized killing himself for money. So I think that's the real thing. That's the benefit too, is I think he actually does really want to live, which is awesome. Because like, my wife's grandmother, like it's rough, but like she does not want to live. So there's no helping her. Like, she just doesn't want to live. I mean, she's probably going to live another 10 years and be a burden to everyone while she doesn't and complain about it. And
she literally just stays in bed, requires constant care.
She can walk, but refuses to.
And
I don't want to like get too into it though, because it's just like, I don't want to trash talk my wife's grandmother all over the internet. But it's an example of someone. Situation. Yeah, it's an example of someone who actually doesn't want to live, so you can't really help them. Like, you have to actually be like, she'll say she wants to live sometimes, but like, she doesn't really. It's like, you can tell. It's like, just because someone says they want to live, it doesn't actually mean they want to live. They might just like the idea of being alive, but they don't really want to do what it takes to stay alive. I don't think my father's in that category at all. I've talked to him a good deal about this. I think he really does want to live in a very vigorous way.
Part of
I think that helps.
Staying healthy is wanting to live.
Yeah.
It's why a lot of people die after their spouse dies.
Yeah.
Like my great-grandmother, her husband died. A month later, she died.
Oh, it wasn't a month.
Was it a year? Like, it was one something. It was either a month or a year.
I think it was like a year.
All right.
I think she made it a year.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 months. It was like a year or 8 months or something. It wasn't.
I thought it was
long.
like almost exactly a year, but yeah, it was really quick after.
Yeah, it was just very, very quick. Because it's like, you don't have a reason to.
Not even any health things. There's nothing.
Well, she had Alzheimer's. That is a neurodegenerative disease that will kill you. It does actually kill you. Well, you need your brain, and it causes your brain to atrophy. So.
I feel like it just ramped up a lot after her husband passed, though.
I would agree with that. I think that that's a lot of like keeping your metabolism high and everything has to do with. I think that's also like a similar reason to like why like you see a lot of athletes like get really fat after they stop competing.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I was also watching this one hospice nurse who was talking about like terminal cancer patients, and she mentioned how like she'll talk to them about it and what is going to happen to their body and what they're going to go through, and like she very much knows that you can fight and you can hold on for a lot longer, but I don't know. Sometimes it gets pretty ugly when people try to do that, especially if a disease is like it's kind of bad being like you should let go, but sometimes it can get like really really bad. And
I don't know though. I mean, what if you put them on the carnivore diet? Like, they might not be exploring every option. Like,
and that is true. I mean, a lot of medical advice is based around the assumption that you will not do anything to change your current habits or diet.
that's very true. Yeah, most medical advice is based on the presupposition that
Yeah, I mean,
you will not change your diet or lifestyle.
Well, let's give you Ozempic because I mean, fuck cutting out donuts.
Yeah, you're not gonna stop eating donuts and sitting on the couch for 18 hours a day. Like, you're just we have to give you Ozempic. It's the same with a lot of cancer treatments too. Like, the principle of do no harm in most modern medical establishments presupposes that you won't actually do anything. And that's why drug prescriptions are so rampant, is because they're just like,
Oh, you get anxiety, man?
yeah, like, how about you, like, try meditating and stop consuming
Or see,
700
actually-
milligrams of caffeine a day?
Yeah, I mean, first fix the brain
Copy
chemistry,
that.
and then second, maybe just sit down and see what's giving you anxiety and then try to fix it.
I think a lot of anxiety is, like, diet related, because I've just experienced a lot of mental problems.
Oh, there's
from
also
diet.
like, if it just popped up, there's also psychological, which can come from the fact that you're just not addressing certain issues. Like when Dad first got diagnosed with cancer, I felt some anxiety from it. I had like one or two panic, like it felt like I was gonna have a panic attack, and then I talked about this in some of my videos. It felt like there was a guy chasing me, and I was constantly running away from
Was that
it.
a dream you're having?
It was a dream, but it also was just metaphor for how it felt. It felt like I was getting chased, and I would like try to distract myself by going on my phone, watching movies, podcasts, whatever, to just not be alone with my thoughts. And it's why I hated falling asleep at the time, because like I'd fall asleep listening to something, so I wouldn't ever have to be like alone with my thoughts. And then one day, it happened when I was coming back from jiu-jitsu, and I just pulled over, and I just let myself feel it. You know, it's kind of like the person that was chasing me just came up and was like, hi.
I thought that was literally
And then
a
it just went
dream
away.
that you
No,
haven't
no,
had.
that was like, it was a way that I might have had someone chasing me in a dream, but
That was the way you told it to me, was that there was a dream, you have a reoccurring dream where someone was chasing you, and then at one point you just turned around the dream.
No, that was a metaphor for how it felt. 'Cause I pulled over at the Whittier school parking lot, and I stopped the
Okay.
car because the emotions were like, I was really feeling it, and I was like,
I also couldn't sleep at the time, and I was having like psychotic episodes a
But-
little bit, and I couldn't sleep at all, and I shit myself in the driveway because my gut completely pooped itself, and I was vomiting continuously.
Well, we fixed that, so.
We did! It's awesome! I'm fucking back! I can sleep every night, and I haven't puked in like God knows how long, nor have I shit myself. So, woohoo! I have solid poops in the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
I haven't had solid poops since I was like 15 years old, man. That's
Well,
crazy.
If you actually
There's solid poops every day.
if you actually pay attention to your health and you put the effort in, you can fix it. So,
I have been. It's like a 10-year project.
yeah. And
For those of you who don't know, I think I have something, or I'm 99.99999% certain that I have something in the realm. Well, I think that anti-NMDA receptor encephalopathy, Morvan's syndrome, which is an autoimmune insomnia condition, and fatal insomnia, I believe they all have the same root cause, and I believe that's what I was suffering from. And that's why I only eat beef, salt, and water, and I've done that for the last 12 months. And if I eat anything else, then I just have raw fish eggs now. That's one thing I can eat, I have raw fish eggs. But if I eat anything else, stop sleeping again, and I just go right back to like dying. But
yeah, but
carnivore works.
You'll probably
It's
be
pretty-
able to come off of carnivore eventually once. your
I mean,
health
I-
improves.
Yeah, I don't think I will though. I mean, I'll probably just because I've done this before with the carnivore, and I did it for 2.5 years, and I was able to come off of it, and then my body had basically healed itself, which I think it did through T regulatory cells in my gut, increased brain metabolism, offloading iron. One reason I'm consuming so much green tea, and fixing my gut microbiome because I pooped out like gallons. Like I lost like, hey, I'll just like do a quick shirtless showcase because I lost like last summer. I think last summer I was about the same weight, but 18 months ago, I was like 215 pounds. I was like 215 pounds, still at about the same amount of body fat, but 215 pounds. And I felt terrible. Like I would take caffeine, wouldn't do anything. I'd take Adderall, wouldn't do anything. None of these things would do anything. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I went down the rabbit hole. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, look up Andy Cutler's detox protocol and all the information around it. I decided not to do the Andy Cutler detox protocol for heavy metals and iron, but instead to do my own protocol that I created, which is based off of green tea, chlorella, and fasting. And I did that, and at first I was reacting like crazy to the green tea, which I believe was from detoxing, like actually getting my body to chelate heavy metals and move them out of my tissues. So I would drink like the third steeping. I would steep the leaves, throw out the first batch, steep the same leaves again, throw that out, steep them again, and then I would drink that.
Why wouldn't you steep it for a really long time?
Why
did you keep them out?
Because I was trying to dilute. I was trying to get like the least the least concentrated the least concentrated quantity of green tea catechins, polyphenols, and tannins.
Can you just water it down?
No, I couldn't water it down. Like I actually had to perform like separate extractions, and the reason you do separate extractions is actually because it's more thorough. Because once the water becomes saturated, it won't absorb any more stuff. So I was kind of removing a lot of the detox compounds because my body just couldn't handle it at the time. Like I would just get nauseous, I would like puke. And then eventually I was able to like, after drinking like the third steeping while fasting, I was then able to drink stronger green tea while fasting. And then I moved up to just drinking like a gallon of green tea while taking chlorella while fasting. And then when I started doing that, I just started pooping out gallons of what looked like pond silt. And I just lost like all this bloating in my stomach. And
it was a really quick transformation.
Yeah, it was within
2
weeks I lost like 25 pounds. It was nuts.
It was so weird. I've been drinking like one of those bottles full of green tea every single day. Because I'm like, damn, man. Even though I haven't had similar transition levels, I still feel good doing it. I've been on carnivore now 19 days, and I find that it helps. Beforehand, I got like these insane cravings for like fruit, and I find just watered down green tea. I water mine down, guys, and then just drink a little bit throughout the day. But Eastern philosophy says green tea is very yin, and
red meat is very yang. That's the traditional Chinese medicine.
I think there is a balance to it because I've been feeling a lot better than I did beforehand on carnivore. I don't have cravings for fruit unless I'm literally looking at an apple. The idea of I want fruit doesn't even pop into my head, and I feel good. It's balanced, like mentally. I feel really good. But anyways, talking about the anxiety I was mentioning earlier, I just pulled over in the parking lot and just accepted that, like, I was going to see what this emotion I was running from was. And I just let it wash over me. And it was literally, like, it was nothing. It was like literally what I said. It was like a guy chasing you, and then the moment you stop, he just is like high. And you're like, what the fuck was that? I just was like, I literally was terrified to fall asleep without listening to something for the past 2 months because I didn't like some of the thoughts I had. But it wasn't even that I didn't like the thoughts I had. It was like I was scared that I was gonna have bad thoughts or just like depressing thoughts about my dad dying if I had time to myself. But it eventually turned into just the fear of time itself, like the fear of the fear, and I was running from that fear. And then the moment I accepted that I was going to experience what the emotion I was running from was, it just went away. And I mean, that's what it is sometimes, is sometimes you're just running from something, like you don't even know why you're running from it. Or sometimes you're not even running from what you thought you were running from. And if you sit down and experience what the anxiety is, sometimes it goes away. Sometimes it points to something you're doing really stupid in your life that you should fix. But I mean, I typically find that there is chemical reasons for your brain to cause you to feel large amounts of anxiety, which is not what I'm talking about here. But there are also psychological reasons for you to feel anxiety, and a lot of those psychological reasons are not helped by medication. They're helped by taking action and moving forward, progressing in your life. Um,
Wilderness therapy, I think, is really big. So I had an experience that was sort of similar to this weekend when I went up to Vermont and I was hiking Mount Mansfield. And for pretty much the last, I don't know, so the last 5 years, I've been taking Adderall pretty much every day. And then I've been getting off of Adderall because I felt like the binders and fillers in it were contributing to prolonged sleep issues. Like I would sleep like 4 or 5 nights a week, and I had like 2 nights where I didn't sleep, and I thought that I'd have to fast. I was like, I think that these binders are messing up my gut, which is requiring me to fast so that I can then sleep. So I went off of Adderall, went on phenylparacetam. I have a YouTube series on that. Went off of Adderall, went on paracetam. I have a YouTube series on that.
just repeat your same words.
No, phenylparacetam.
Oh,
No, it's phenyl. It's a different compound.
The paracetam and then also phenylparacetam, right?
Yeah, phenylparacetam first, then paracetam.
I
Then I
the
went.
same thing.
No, and then I went on, and then I just like was like, okay, well maybe I just need to completely stop smoking weed, and then I just completely stopped smoking
Oh
weed,
my god, that's such a big thing.
and then I was like, okay, that wasn't it. And then I've just been kind of like oscillating between like taking paracetam one day, taking Adderall
Can we just
another
touch
day.
briefly on the huge benefits of not smoking weed?
We can talk about that in a second. But the other thing, though, the thing is like, I had this, I don't know, like I would basically take paracetam any day that I had to like get anything done, or I'd take Adderall any day I had to get anything done. And I kind of like, I'm coming from like a place of like not sleeping for like weeks at a time. So my brain function is literally shit. Like all of my thoughts are just only.
Was in past tense.
I mean, I said is when like I was referring to like is like, yeah, it was shit. But like when I'm not sleeping, my brain function is shit. So, and it's just like it feels like there's like a lump of hot lead in my brain, like where my brain's supposed to be. There's just a lump of hot metal, and it's just like pain, and I can't think, I can't remember anything, and I'm kind of like coming from this place where it's like I'd maybe have like an hour to 2 hours of like coherent thoughts a day, and the rest of it would just be like trying not to puke. And then like coming back from that after like 12 months, I was using like paracetam to kind of like rehabilitate my brain function. I used microdoses of psilocybin to rehabilitate my brain function. And in combination with paracetam or Adderall, I never combine paracetam and Adderall because you get excess NMDA receptor excitability, which causes headaches. Not fun. So, called excitotoxicity. It's a fun term. So, I had this like belief though. Like I remember like if I didn't take paracetam that day, like I wouldn't be able to like get my day started. If I didn't take Adderall, I wouldn't be able to get my day started. And then I went up to the mountains and I was hiking around, and I just wouldn't take paracetam. I just didn't take Adderall. I didn't take any of these things, and I was just using this stick. I was just walking through the mountains. It was sort of like, well, I'm just walking through the mountains with a stick. I don't really need my brain to work for that, like at any sort of a high level. I mean, I'm just literally like balancing while moving my feet. And then I'm looking at everything and then sort of just accepting that the state that I was in. Also, I think there's some serious metabolic benefits to hiking up mountains, like serious like mental and metabolic benefits that are also complementing this. I don't think I could have done this without the mountains and hiking. But I was just doing this, just walking around, hiking for a few days without taking paracetam or Adderall or smoking weed. I was just like I don't need paracetam. I don't really need Adderall. Like I still probably take them at some point in time if I feel like I would get a benefit from them. But I haven't taken paracetam or Adderall today. Didn't take it yesterday. Didn't take it the day before. And my
recommendation bare
Let me
minimum,
finish,
it's just,
though.
no, wait.
No, so like the thing is, you gonna play with the stick?
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is, like realizing, it was just sort of, I was like running from the idea that I needed. Don't bend it.
Not.
Okay. But I was running from the idea that I needed a substance in order for my brain to work, because that was my experience for a really long time. I mean, I actually did derive substantial benefit from these substances, but it was more of like the idea. It was just sort of like this idea that my thoughts off of paracetam
Yeah,
were
it's the stories
not.
that you tell yourself.
Yeah, like I was like, I would be thinking, and I'd be like, it was sort of like I was telling myself, like, oh, my thoughts would be so much more productive if I had taken paracetam today. Oh, my thoughts would be so much more productive if I had taken Adderall today. And I was just hiking through the mountains. At some point, I was like, my thoughts would be so much more productive. I'm like, I don't need my thoughts to be productive right now. And I have the thought again, I don't need my thoughts to be productive right now. And then I realized, I'm like after like a day or two, I was like, wait, I'm having really productive, insightful thoughts. Just automatically.
Yeah, I mean,
like they're just
it's
sort of
similar
happening.
to,
And then it kind of broke the spell of feeling like I needed these things. But I mean, I do think I did need them at some point. I just think that I also needed to get beyond the idea that I needed them.
And that happens for a lot of things, is that you start doing something for a certain reason, and then you start overdoing it because you expect to get the same benefits you initially got out of it. It's like when you tell yourself that you need nicotine in order to focus or relax or do anything. I mean, a lot of stuff is just the stories that you tell yourself, and sometimes it's helpful to tell yourself stories.
Alan Carr's easy way to quit smoking if you want to quit nicotine.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, if you tell yourself that you need weed in order to be happy, or in order to make life interesting, or in order to relax. So I think I've told myself those at previous points in my life, and I mean, I really quit smoking weed in college, but since then I dabbled with it for a month, and then I just was like, I never want to touch this shit again. Because I found that the only time you actually want to smoke weed is right after you smoke weed. Because at least for me, I get a weed hangover. I think it's a hangover. But basically, my dopamine spikes, and then afterwards, and this is off of just flower, like not even hitting dab pens or anything. She's just smoking regular flower. Like after 2-3 hours, I just start feeling like low dopamine. I like cravings for sugar, cravings for just like watching shorts or movies, or like it's just a feeling of lack in my brain that I can't really get rid of except if I smoke more weed. So it just creates this cycle of trying to avoid that feeling by constantly being high, and then you're worried that if you stop being high, you're gonna have to experience and deal with it, and then eventually you get to a point where you're like, I don't even care, I just don't want to be high.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't smoked weed in months, like literally months. Never want to again. I mean, once you see it for what it is, and it's like people who tell themselves they need alcohol in order to let loose on the dance floor. It's like, you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I've been clubbing without alcohol. It's a lot of fun.
I went clubbing in Miami without alcohol, and I was dancing crazier than anyone.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need alcohol to let loose. You can let loose.
Club
by-
Space, if you're going to go to Miami. Don't go to the other ones. They're all strip clubs.
Yeah, but you can let loose by just getting out of your own head, feeling the music. I mean, you don't need to.
Everyone's just at a club to be silly in public. Like,
Yeah.
that's really, like, the main realization that I had, is I'm like, everyone showed up here to act silly in public. That's, like, the reason they're all here. So,
Pretty
like,
much, man.
let's act silly in public.
Well, that and get drunk.
But they're getting drunk, though, to act silly.
True.
Like, that's the reason, is, like, they're getting drunk to act
let
silly.
loose.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's basically what letting loose is like acting silly in public. So like, I would like take shots of lemon juice. Like I go to like the bartender and be like, "Give me all the lemons," and I just squeeze all the lemons into like a glass, and then woo. It's actually, yeah, like kind of a pep from lemon juice. Maybe it's the vitamin C, maybe it's the acidity, but as for like our business plan, though, I guess like we can actually like hash out the business plan. To me, it seems really simple. Like, it's a really simple idea. It's basically like, okay,
finish setting up the website. I mean, you can buy through the website right now. We're gonna add better pictures to it, more information about the benefits of each
I
supplement.
want to turn the WordPress side of the website into like the best resource for health, fitness, and high performance.
Yeah, we're also
strength
doing that.
training and
We're gonna be
jiu-jitsu.
publishing an article. I mean,
Many articles.
I did. We're gonna do a challenge. In order, if you want to go from weak to warrior and really see what you're capable of doing in 75 days, we're gonna publish a challenge article talking about exactly how to do that.
I think it's gotta be 3
And-
tiers though, because like,
Well, there's different challenge. There's a 0 to 75, but you can't have someone going from, like, well, at least it's not that. You're setting someone up for failure if you have them go from base to elite. It's why
we could have like one protocol could be 0 to hero. Another protocol could be, I don't know, couch to grouch. That doesn't really make sense, but we'll figure it out.
I like weak to warrior, and then I don't know, warrior to delta or something.
No, 0 to hero, couch to grouch. I think we have couch to grouch.
So that's the
like
first
that's the
one.
one where we teach you couch to grouch is where we teach you to say no to poison food.
Yeah, couch to grouch would be the first one, where literally you go from just sitting on the couch and be like, shit, man, everything's poison. So that's couch to grouch.
Yeah, and you have to do
then-
this exercise and people offer you like poison.
Yeah. You have to say no to Doritos or something like that.
Say no to Doritos. Then second one would be like 0 to hero. And then the third one would be like weak to warrior. And there's a Discord group I made ages ago that we could get involved in this. There's the Weak to Warrior Kettlebell Club that we can get involved in this as a Facebook group that I made that kind of started the whole thing.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna also do.
But the base business model though, I want to talk about the base business model. The basic idea is simply this. I've got a lot of experience in neuroscience, organic chemistry, pharmacology, health, fitness, high performance, endocrinology, all this stuff. You can go through my YouTube channel. You can see my expertise, which is varied and deep, numerous, weighty, and awesome. And I cannot get around taking the supplements that I've released. That's actually why I made all of them, is because I was just having really bad insomnia problems. I needed supplements to help me. And all the supplements on the market had fucking magnesium stearate in them and shit. So I'm like, well, I was really making all of them myself anyway, except for the B vitamin. I was like, okay, so I made the B vitamin. I did make the B vitamin before we ever put that to market, but basically that's the idea. It was just like, okay, here are these products that I like. I've literally had people like Uber me magnesium before. So I can't get around needing these things. Like, this is just what I need to function at the level that I'm accustomed to functioning at.
Also, we've had a lot of people ask us when we talk to a lot of people. We just give out our health advice and for free on YouTube, in the gym, all over, and we tell them which supplements to take.
Oh, but the business model though, the business model though,
can we buy it?
is basically
"Yeah, you can."
find something, like, not find something, I mean, just
Take something you use.
we have something we use that's incredibly useful. I've used for over 10 years. I'm not going to stop using it at any point in the future. I'm not going to like create some other supplement and be like, oh, I don't need all this stuff anymore. It's really just this. If I did, it would just be some combination of those things at a specific ratio, but I'd still want the other stuff to correct the ratio, because at some points you just want a different ratio. But anyway, so it's like, I need this stuff forever. I'm going to need this stuff forever, so I might as well sell it. And that's basically the idea, is I'm like, I look at the stuff that I needed forever, that I'm going to need forever, and then I just make it better and then sell it, because I don't want to have to keep on switching business models. Like, that's just, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm selling supplements now and then I'm selling freaking boats tomorrow. It's like, maybe I do that, but I'd still be selling supplements, because I'm just solving my own need and then making that available to everyone else. And that's basically what it is just, I have needs to perform at the highest level. I'm going to fix these things, and then I'm going to make these things available to everyone else, because I can't get them without making them myself, because we just live in a culture that really likes to consume poison for whatever reason.
Well, it's because, I mean,
And also ribeye is like freaking $20.99 a pound now, so that'd be something I'd look into in the future.
It's 14 at Market Basket.
Oh no, they just increased it to 18.
No, it literally was there today. It's 14.
The one in Salem's increased it to 18.
Well, the bone-in is 14 at Market Basket.
$14.99.
Yeah.
I'll have to stop by there and get some because the Salem one just increased it to 18.
Well, they might be running a sale. I mean, it could have been a sale that ended for Memorial Day grilling.
I don't know, but the point is though, it's like ribeye is something I need. So at some point in the future, you'll probably see me selling ribeye because I just don't see why I shouldn't make it better. I mean, the stuff at the store works, but like, could it be better? Could it be more nutritionally dense? I don't really know. I mean, I haven't ever done a diet of only grass-fed ribeye. But that's kind of like how I'm looking at it is I'm like, what do I absolutely need in order to function that I can't get anywhere else?
Yeah, what
The
does
supplements.
society not currently provide?
Exactly, and then I make that available to other people. And then everything else is simply marketing. It's just like, how do I actually get people to be aware of these things? And that's where I would say YouTube comes in, but really YouTube is different. YouTube is really like just kind of like the words personal clout come to mind, and it's basically like, well, why are the sharks on Shark Tank? They already have
They
money.
get hundreds of millions of dollars of the branding from it.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, people kind of need to know who you are in order to really invest in your vision. And I have a
Kevin
larger
O'Leary
vision.
can slap his face on anything and have that company sell on a shelf, because almost everyone in America,
Maybe.
dude, he does this to companies. Like, he literally.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I don't know if just slapping his face on a product will make the business successful. It'll get initial sales, but I don't think it'll.
Well, the product has to be somewhat decent, but I mean, if you go into stores, if it's been on Shark Tank, it says as seen on Shark Tank. If it's got an investor, it's got that investor's face on the packaging, because Barbara, Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary,
build
like,
trust.
these are faces that you see on TV. What, Shark Tank's at 9 seasons, 13 seasons, how many seasons?
16.
16 seasons. Like,
It's been going for
they
This is 2009.
I mean, they're now household names. Like,
yeah.
Mr. Wonderful is a household name. I haven't watched Shark Tank in like over a year.
I watched
And before that, I didn't really watch it that often. But I mean, I think almost everyone in the U.S. has seen at least a clip on YouTube or on some website from Shark Tank.
I started watching Shark Tank again when I wanted to see other people stressing out about business. I was like, ha! Now it's your turn. Because it was the only thing I could do to relax, because I was just constantly thinking about business. So then I'm like, this is a useful thing. If you got a business, you're constantly stressing about business, you can't watch TV or movies, watch Shark Tank, because then you can watch other people stressing about their businesses.
Also,
and it actually works.
Once you actually understand business and you run one for a year or two, you understand a lot more.
We've been running businesses since we were like 7.
Yeah,
so.
but even before that, like even
It took like 10
even
years.
with that, like
it took,
in the
like,
past
a
year or
while.
two, just like going through all these regulations, looking at the sales, thinking about getting investors, like all this stuff, it's like you look at, before I was just interested in like, oh, look at the product pitch. And it was like, I'd watch the product pitch and then I'd be like, oh, do they get a deal or do they not get a deal? And then I really wouldn't care about what happened. But now it's like, you actually are interested in the numbers and seeing it. You can just end the podcast and then go back.
No. I think it's funny. Like, I think that like the more
go over there. I want to hear it in the video.
Okay, that's fine. I think it's funny though to make it as candid as possible, because that's also
go pee down there.
that's also one aspect of this is like we can't compete with Hollywood on editing. Like Hollywood will always be able to edit things better than us, but what they can't compete with us on is just being fucking awesome and candid and uncut videos, because they're all pedophiles, maybe.
Maybe question mark.
Allegedly.
Alright, Shark Tank, business, let's see what else. Oh, so after, one thing I would say is, went to Asia for 2 weeks for a friend's wedding, and then I got back from there, and while over there, I was just eating their typical food, and the seed oils in their stuff, I was not sleeping that well, I wasn't feeling that well, and then I get back to the U.S., and I've been tracking my health on the Whoop. I think it's good. I do think you should track it yourself and just like spend time being aware of your sleep. But I do like this for running studies on myself, such as stomach sleeping versus sleeping on my back. I mean, right now it just shows me I have a -9 recovery score for eating gluten, which basically just means gluten is bad. You might react differently to it than me, but I know to avoid it. And let's see, coming back from China. Oh, I got a lot more into lifting recently. Like, instead of just doing kettlebell swings at the house, I actually go to the gym for like an hour and a half, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I've noticed, like, I feel like I got a lot more testosterone just in the past month by doing 4.5 hours a week of heavy weightlifting. Like, my testosterone's gone up.
Could be.
Measured by energy level and morning erections. So.
Could also just be getting out and socializing as well. But
well, it can't be that because I haven't been.
You haven't been socialized? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I don't know. I mean, I think that like heavy lifting definitely will increase testosterone. But if you're doing kettlebells right, I think you'll get a similar.
But I did
effect.
kettlebells, and I also did. I mean, I wasn't going heavy with kettlebells. I'll be like.
If you're doing explosive, I think it's still.
I was doing explosive, but I was doing like 4 sets, 20 reps with 45 and 74. But still, that's only like, what, that takes 20 minutes versus, and I do that like maybe twice or 3 times a week. And then in addition to that, I would go live rolling and open mats on the weekends, plus rolling with you. So like multiple hours of cardio.
We're supposed to be drilling, but it was
Plus-
rolling.
Yeah, plus walking 2 to 3 miles a day. So still being extremely physically active. But then I added in just doing 4 hours of weightlifting. I mean, not lifting for 4 hours, but I'm going heavy, resting for 2 to 3 minutes. Maybe if I'm in a rush, doing upper body and then lower body and then upper body so that I can allow lactic acid and muscle fatigue to go away so I can get good quality lifts. But I do feel more energetic, stronger. It could also be carnivore because I started doing that with the lifting program.
I think it's definitely carnivore then.
I also noticed my facial hair is growing faster. I have to shave like almost every day.
Yeah, that is one thing too. When I went to the barber or haircut person, she's not really a barber, but she's like a haircut person. Hairstylist, haircutter. But like, she was like commenting. She was just like, "Oh my god, your hair grows like a weed," and it's like, it's carnivore. It's just literally my metabolism is so much higher. Like my nails.
Yeah,
I have
feel
to
hotter.
trim my nails.
I feel hotter. Like
Warmer.
I've had to like turn the AC on at night and like make sure I have fans on me because I'll sleep with a lot less blankets and I just feel warmer.
Yeah, that is definitely a big thing. But basically, so the business model, back to the business model. Supplements, awesome. Make them out with personal care products, like hair gel, body wash.
There's a candle I like made from
meditation candle.
meditation stool.
Meditation
Meditation
stool.
is really important. It helps a lot. Maybe the toothpaste. I've been using my own toothpaste for a while. that I've been
Toothpaste, you
making.
could do toothpaste. I mean, I'm looking at like
Literally,
sunscreen.
I go from using like the fluoride ones, the ones the doctor recommends, to making my own using coconut oil, a little bit of peppermint essential oil for taste, sea salt, and then calcium carbonate, and then baking soda. And literally, I go from like having a lot of plaque right in the bottom of my teeth to having no plaque. And my doctor used to be like, "Oh, you need to floss a lot more. You need to brush more." I'm like, I brush twice a day, but for some reason, I just had a lot of bacteria that like produce the plaque.
I think it's because the
So even-
toothpaste, like the toothpaste you had at the store, is sweet, and I think that's artificial sweeteners, which just feed
I don't even know
bad
what it is, but all I
bacteria.
know is literally switching to coconut oil, sea salt, baking soda, calcium carbonate. Like, the amount of plaque in my mouth is like none. I literally bought a tool for scraping the plaque off my teeth so that I wouldn't have such a buildup when I went to the doctor. And I don't really use that anymore because, like,
Probably fixing your gut, your oral microbiome. Because the thing that
Yeah.
really helped me is I stopped having plaque buildup on my teeth the same time I started drinking tea, just unsweetened tea that I would fill up in these jugs, and I spit in it. And I let it sit in the cupboard until it gets stinky, and then I drink it. So my gut is messed up. And this started after I left tea in the car like 18 months ago when I wasn't sleeping. I just forgot that there was tea in the car, and I find it like weeks later, and it's all stinky, and I'm like, I'm just gonna drink it and see what happens. Maybe it's like OG kombucha, you know? And actually, I immediately passed out, and then I had a solid poop, and my stools were fairly loose after that, and I still had trouble sleeping, but I was turned on to this, and I've just been doing that ever since. I've just been like basically spitting in jugs of tea. This isn't one of them, but spitting in jugs of tea and then just drinking it with meals. And I've been doing that religiously.
There are travel societies that do that in areas where, like, where the wife's job is literally just to chew this root and then spit in a jar for her husband in order to help ferment and make something for him to drink. And it does help with gut health, even if I will not do it myself.
That's fine, you don't have to do it, but no, it really, like, I've been having solid poops now. So I've played with this on and off for the last 18 months.
If your health's bad enough, you'll try anything. But
I've drank my own pee before. Oh God, yeah, that didn't really help as much as I hoped it would.
Well, there's people online saying everything. I mean, when your health's bad,
I gotta try everything.
Yeah.
You know? So, but basically, I've been playing with the fermented tea thing for like the last 18 months. I just got to the point where now I just have like 20 jugs of this stuff going at my house at any given point in time, because it's like the best thing I can do for my gut. Like, I've just been having, since I started like making sure I have a continuous supply of spit fermented tea, I have had solid poops continuously for like the first time in my life in like over 10 years. So, and my mental health is like through the roof. I think it's another reason I don't really need paracetam or Adderall anymore, because my gut microbiome is just working wonderfully. So that's really nice. But the business model, though, basically consists of...
Go from business model to your spitty.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's ADHD entertainment. But like, basically, though, so the business model basically consists of like, well, I'm going to be doing this ongoing research forever. I've got a bazillion ideas. Like, we can ultimately expand into like the housing market and make houses that don't grow mold on them, because like people are constantly complaining
There's
about
so
mold
many
in their
health
houses.
inefficiencies that, and your health is really, if you can fix your health and you can get your brain working properly, like what we've done, like it literally.
It's like the Limitless pill.
Yeah, I mean, once your health,
it's like the
literally, once
actual
your health and
Limitless
your
pill.
brain works, like, holy shit. You look at all those self-help books out there, all these books, and you're looking at them, you're like, bro, this is just fucking common sense. Like,
but when your health doesn't work, you're just fucked. Like, you're literally like fucked. And I've experienced that repeatedly throughout my life, and then made sure my younger brother has benefited from my information so he can experience proper health, because I'm like, well,
yeah.
You know, I'm not just gonna like let you fend for yourself, because I have to put all this effort into just staying alive. So now that I've figured this out, I want to like make other people healthy, health coaching, whole nine yards. But really, like, the business model consists of, and the reason we make these videos too, is recruitment. Like, we're ultimately looking to, because I've realized this through health coaching, you're not really going to be able to change someone's life just through health coaching. Now, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I can't, it's hard to do that because they're enmeshed in this system that is requiring them to overwork, that's providing them tons of shit food, the culture is shit. Oh, come watch this porn, smoke this weed, smoke this cigarette, drink this booze.
Your environment triggers your thoughts trigger your actions develop your environment. When you're stuck in the same environment, you're going to have the same thoughts, which lead to the same actions, the same eating patterns, the same exercise routine, and you have to break yourself out of that environment and change it in order to actually help improve yourself and get better thoughts, which is why it's sometimes beneficial to take vacations or go on a road trip or go just do something different.
I agree, but then like then if you go back to the same habits after, this is just my experience from health coaching and from talking to thousands of people about their health, is that you will just go back most of the time to whatever you were doing beforehand. And I've had people, like, the most common thing I have is people like would get my health coaching. I keep them on. Okay. I keep them on for like 6 months, and I'd completely revamp everything, and then they'd backslide. And then 18 months later, they'd hit me up and be like, "Thank you so much for getting me to change those things." and then they make like another attempt, and then like I don't know, I didn't really follow up with that many people after. But the point is though,
we solved my health issues, and then I decided, you know what? I now feel good. Let's have some McDonald's.
exactly.
And then they call you up at 2 a.m. Like, I feel like shit. They're like, well, what did you do, man? They're like, I had McDonald's. What have you spent the last couple months doing?
No.
Yeah.
So but the real, yeah, that was very frustrating. Or like people going back and taking pills full of magnesium stearate after. But anyway, so the thing is though, I realize that like a lot of the power that we can have through business comes from like all these supplements I'm selling. Like they'll definitely help. I mean, these are everything I take myself. The book I'm writing, it's definitely going to help. The personal care products I'm going to come out with, those are definitely going to help. Maybe we get into tech at some point too. Maybe we get into other things as well. But the goal is really to find the smartest, most determined people of our generation and the generations preceding, and get them following rigorous health systems that will actually make them perform at the highest level. Like the rarest thing in the world, to my mind, is a human being that is healthy, fit, and high performing. That's incredibly rare. Like even lots of professional athletes, their brain function is crap because they eat shit. So
They may be high performing, but they're certainly not healthy, especially with the amount of steroids that a lot of people take.
oh yeah, exactly. Like
So I could be killing myself in the gym, getting huge, but I mean, I also want to do jiu-jitsu, and I have to balance the two out, because if I do too much jiu-jitsu and too much lifting, then if I don't take steroids, then I would get like fucked. My body would just, I can't recover fast enough, even sleeping a bunch of time in the day, and I'm unwilling to take steroids because I want kids,
yeah,
and I want to be healthy later in life. So I don't take any steroids, and I have to balance working out with sleeping, with jiu-jitsu, with lifting.
Exactly with working and everything, and that's sort of the thing is like in order to be really healthy, fit, and high performing, what I've realized is that you probably need to work for a company that supports that, and that is what I'm planning on being with Week to Warrior. In addition to proprietary syntheses for supplement compounds, in addition to getting into food manufacture and distribution, in addition to getting into information production and distribution and publishing.
Larger scale studies on our metabolic theories.
Larger scale studies and metabolic theories, though I do also want to get those funded. We'll see exactly how to make those happen.
Maybe military funding, but yeah.
Maybe military funding. Also, like a magazine. I think a magazine. I mean, I really like
getting the idea out there to, hey, your health is important. Stop poisoning yourself.
I mean, how many people watching this,
like
how many people watching this have tried a carnivore diet for 3 months? How many people watching this have tried a vegan diet for 3 months? I think the vegan diets are pretty much shit for most people, but I've at least tried one. How many people have tried a paleo diet? How many people have tried a ketogenic diet? How many people have tried a 5-day fast? People don't really do this stuff. They're kind of locked into mainstream thinking, and in addition to making communism much more likely, which I don't want, that was actually the original impetus for Week to Warrior. Was when COVID started happening, I was like, well, whatever happens, I want people to be stronger. So I started coaching people through the Kettlebell Club, and I got up to like 3,500 members. And I was just coaching people on how to be strong with kettlebells and how to lift kettlebells effectively, because if you're really effective at training with kettlebells, you'll out deadlift the power lifters and out like run the sprinters. Like it's I don't tell people I don't like about kettlebells. Even on my YouTube channel, I don't really talk about kettlebells that much, because like I can talk about them more though, because I do feel like anyone who's willing to sit down and actually watch my videos and consider what I'm saying is probably on my team to some degree, at least spiritually, if not.
I think they will be if they actually try the workout that you suggest.
Yeah, exactly. So basically though, and then the other things like we're trying to get on, like TikTok, selling through Amazon, activity on social media. This is really like force multipliers. Like Amazon is crazy. Amazon is this massive marketplace of leads that we could generate. TikTok is the same. And that's sort of like, and the Kickstarter is also the same as well. So really, like, what we're doing right now, or what my plan for what we're doing right now is get the supplements up and available on the website, which they already are. Get more articles written on the website. Get like I just have all these ideas. Like, I've been journaling for my whole life. Like, I write. Like, I love to write down ideas and clarify them. Ideas about training jiu-jitsu. Ideas about how to, like, create awesome programs with push-ups. Ideas about how to, like, increase your deadlift. Wait, no. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Keep it going, but
Okay.
we're at an hour and 10, and the battery's about to die. So let's, like, wrap it up in
How
10
long
minutes.
is the battery going to last?
At 10%.
Okay, that's fine. This is more
So
than
you
enough
get, like,
time.
less than 10 minutes.
Awesome. Let's run till it dies. So,
Well, let's get to a good point.
I know, but it'd also be interesting just to see where it cuts off. But basically, get all this information up on the website, because I've thought about business models a lot, and I've realized, like, if you know what you're doing, you're not doing much. Like, if I could ask you, like, what are you doing with your life, and you could list out to me everything you're doing with your life, you're really not doing much. Because, I mean, like, I have kids. I don't know what they're going to go on to create. I make videos every day just documenting my life and the things that I do in order to regain my sleep and be healthy, fit, and high performing. I document my thoughts on fiat currency. I document my thoughts on business models. I share this stuff with you guys. I share my whole reasoning as to why the business model is the way it is. I don't know what the net result of that's going to be. I hope the net result of that is going to be more people my age and other ages. I don't think this is just limited to my age. I see my YouTube statistics. I know that everyone of every age group watches my videos. I think there'll be more people creating businesses, more people putting their thoughts out there, more people discussing what they think about politics, about health, about religion even. Like, you know, like all the things you're not supposed to talk about, like money, religion, politics, love, sex, all these things. I want more people talking about this stuff. I want more people trying different diets out. I want more people simply being inspired to, like, go do things they wouldn't have done otherwise. Like, maybe someone will go and get a hiking stick and then go climb a mountain because of me. Hopefully, that'd be cool. Maybe someone who already climbs mountains with a hiking stick will make a video about it, and that'll inspire someone else. Maybe people will take the health information I put out on YouTube for free and stop poisoning everyone. Maybe doctors will watch this information and say, you know what? I got some clients with insomnia. Maybe I'm going to recommend them these changes. And ultimately what it amounts to is like picking up litter. It's like just making a better world for me to live in, because it doesn't matter how successful I am if I live in a communist totalitarian regime. Literally, and you could say I'm crazy for thinking that, but I truly believe if I do not live my life to the fullest, if I do not put out the gifts of my heart, if I do not bear the wisdom of my soul that God has given me to the world, then I am rejecting God, and I am rejecting the best possible world that could exist. And I will then live in a world that is not the best possible world that could exist. And I want to live in the world that's the best. Like, I mean, I've seen the effect that me living to the extent of my potential it has on my family. And, like, I've even seen, like, I don't know, I went through a period of time where I was like, I don't know, I just stopped telling people stuff. Because I just figured they didn't really want to hear it. Because they'd, like, sometimes people would complain they'd be like, oh, Devin, stop telling me about this dietary thing or whatever. Like, you're always on about that. And I stopped telling them. And then, like, everything went to shit. And I was like, oh, people need me to share this information with them. So, it's the same thing with, like, products in life. Like, I consume these products. I make these products for myself. I've made these products for myself for 5 years. I'm going to make these things available. I discovered this for myself. I'm going to make this available. I don't really think there's anything else to business. I look at the original business, maybe not prostitution, but like a palatial economy where someone simply has a well-run household, and then they use that household as a store of value that they then sell back to the community. And simply that ability to run your household well, store value, and then provide it back to people who can't run a household well or store value is itself the original form of value. I want to get people thinking about that. I want to get people thinking about the Odyssey. I want to get people healthy enough to provide for their families and to start thinking about what this country could be, what the world could be. I mean, I look at like the founding fathers and all the good that's come of the United States of America, and I think they would not have been able to do that if they had not been inspired in the same way I am. So really the business model is a business model, but it is not a money model. It is a model of how to conduct my life and my business and my affairs in such a way as to benefit myself and the world most, because I can't benefit, like if let's say I'm a money hungry bastard who just wants the best for me and my kids. I mean, I got kids, so I'm like, I got skin in the game, I need to have a world for them to live in. If I didn't have kids, then maybe I'd be like, fuck everyone. Like, I don't know, probably still no, because I feel like I have like my own personal beliefs about like life in the afterlife and the eternal recurrence of all things. That would make me motivated not to do that. But really, like, the model comes down to, how do I be the most healthy, fit, and high-performing person imaginable? Well, I do that by doing everything that I'm doing and devoting my life towards researching and testing out all my hypotheses as to health, fitness, and high performance. Okay, well, how do I do that? I mean, I have to make money and live. How do I just devote my life to mastering and researching health, fitness, and high performance on an ongoing basis? Well, I make a company whose sole job it is to productize my research and to make that same research available to everyone else. Awesome. Now my personal project of optimizing myself has become my project of optimizing myself and making the means of that optimization available to everyone else. And YouTube as a means of distributing information is one way, books is another way, the website's another way, articles are another way, magazines another way, TikTok's another way, Amazon's another way. The supplements are their own way of doing it. The supplements themselves are a encoded philosophy of health. I mean, if you look at the line of supplements, that is a health philosophy right there. That is the belief that human beings benefit from these compounds administered in these dosages with the absence of these other compounds. Taken to its extreme, I mean, it's basically a philosophy of metabolic efficiency encoded in a supplement line.
Even a philosophy of greatness based on the artwork.
Yeah, exactly that as well. It's a philosophy of greatness based on the artwork, which is really a lived out philosophy that I'm living out now. It's this idea of going out, being the best you can, and making that available to other people. It's even like, well, why make these videos? How do I selfishly benefit from that? Well, if I train myself to make my thoughts coherent and useful, then I will have more coherent and useful thoughts that I can benefit from. And I train myself to do that by making these YouTube videos. I also train my ability to speak in public. I train my ability to communicate ideas so that my ideas can be communicated. So that if I want to communicate an idea, I'm skilled at it because I've spent all this time doing that. That's how all this stuff comes together. It seeks unity within the person. And that is ultimately the business model. I'm going to raise my kids up in the same way of living and to continue the business in the same way. I am going to recruit employees in the same spirit. I already have my brother. I've already recruited a family member who's living out these philosophies. What? Partner. Equal partner, but I founded it. But I mean, I guess you founded this other. A company experiences many ongoing foundings, as Peter Thiel would say.
I filed the paperwork.
He did file the paperwork, because my brain was shitting itself at the time and I couldn't really think straight. But yeah, exactly. I mean, he is the equal partner in the company with me. But other people that come on will not be equal partners because I don't really think that I would agree with. I'm not really comfortable sharing my creative vision with anyone else to the same degree. But other people could buy into that same creative vision and then maximize their own potential. If I had employees that wanted to go on and start other divisions of the company doing other things like GE Capital did, then they would be the smartest, most high-performing, energetic people in the market doing that. And then I would win on that level as well. And then what I would do is I would turn around and I would say, this is how I did it to everyone. So then everyone else who is ambitious in the world will look to me and my company and my people and my resources to figure out how to replicate my results, which will give me even more attention for anything else that I want to launch, which will ultimately, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll start my own country, maybe I'll co-opt
why do
some
people work 8 hours a day?
sovereign military order.
Dude, why people work 8 hours a day? Because Ford said, I don't think people can be that effective working less time. So he did it, and then everyone else looked at his company, how well they're doing, and they're like, well, maybe we should let everyone work 8 hours a day.
Ford changed the world and so will I. I mean, that's ultimately the goal of this, is like, I mean,
I'm getting too hot.
Okay. To wrap it up, I've been redesigning education systems. That's another thing I want to do, is redesign the education system, because I have my kids and I'm homeschooling them. Basically, I've been redesigning stuff and rethinking how things could go for my entire life. It's just who I am. It's how I think. I couldn't be any different if I wanted to be, not that I do. And I have an avenue to help the world benefit from that as I benefit myself from that. And I think that human beings, because we're made in the image of God, if we really get to know ourselves and we think about what would ultimately bring fulfillment to our deepest realization of ourselves, I think that that is good. And I would say if your deepest realization of yourself does not make you smile, or if your deepest realization of reality does not make you smile, seek a deeper realization. Done.